And I'm delighted to be welcomed on the line by Orlaith Hamersley. Good afternoon, Orla. How are you?
Hi, Linda. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. Thanks a million for taking our call this afternoon.
Oh, delighted to talk to you.
Delighted, that's good. Now, the last time we spoke face to face was out at JJ's on the Dungarvan Road before you crossed the bridge. So first of all, tell us a little bit about the walk from A to B, and then we'll go from JJ's and what happened after that.
Yeah, no problem.
Great.
Well, the walk from A to B is a reenactment of a tragic walk, really, that was taken by miners during the famine time. There was a copper mine in Allihies in West Cork, right out of the edge of West Cork, and when that closed, the miners and their families moved lock, stock and barrel by foot to Bunmahon, and they walked the journey, and that was back in the 1800s. So it was they would have had very little means, and they would have been on foot the whole time. So our walk is a reenactment of that walk. Absolutely.
And you walked it from A to B, and you got as far, well, I met you, I think you were in Farlesbar in Summerfield.
That's right.
You stayed there on the Friday night.
That's right, yeah. We stayed over in Farles. They were
Yep.
really good to us.
Mm-hmm.
Had a good wash in the leisure centre that evening.
Nice to have facilities.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a comfortable night sleeping in the beer garden, basically, of in Farles.
Yes.
And the following morning then we met yourselves in JJ's truck stop.
Absolutely.
Walked from Farles, obviously, to the truck stop.
Yes.
We were in great spirits. The weather had been very good to us, and we had very little injuries. We had a few blisters, but we were all walking very well. So on that point, we were flying and couldn't wait to get into our own home county again.
Yes.
We were joined by a number of other people. Linda Carroll joined us, who was a veteran of the very first walk that we did in 2011. So it was nice to see a few friendly faces, and yourselves, Ben, gave us a great send-off from JJ.
Absolutely. And we had a walk from JJ's to up over that hill. And I got to talk to a lot of the walkers, and they were really enjoying it, and they were happy that they had some facilities on the Thursday night to refresh themselves and had some good food, and they were in good spirits when they arrived at JJ's.
That's right. We were clean and we had full bellies, and we were quite content now at that stage, I must say. Yeah. Over the couple of years, the 4 years that's been running, Youghal seems to be a highlight of the stop. The last couple of days then there is kind of like on home territory, a nice run in from Youghal and a night in Dungarvan, then there's a good night as well.
Absolutely.
So we always have fond memories of the stop in Youghal.
Yeah. And so after I left you, you were on the way to Clashmore, am I right in saying that?
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, we were on the way up to Clashmore. We got to Clashmore in good time. Unfortunately, in Clashmore, half of us took the wrong road.
Oh dear.
And we're heading to Cap Quinn, unbeknownst to ourselves. It was only my daughter had joined our support driver, Sean Fitzsimons.
Yes.
And they were waiting on the side of the road, having fed half the group, waiting for us to turn up. And after about half an hour, they decided they'd better give us a call to see where we were. And unfortunately, we were on the road to Cap Quinn. Oh. So there was frantic GPS and map reading going on, and we managed to right ourselves and got back on track, but we did put a couple of kilometres on ourselves.
I was just going to ask that. Oh my goodness. You could have done without that, for sure.
We could have done that, but we were sitting on the wall in Clashmore, and we were very cocky. We were, delighted with ourselves, thinking how well this has gone. Mm-hmm. So it just goes to show that you can't take your eye off the ball for even a minute.
You have to concentrate on where you're going.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you got to Dungarvan, and I think I received a text. Did you stay at the tennis club in Dungarvan? Am I right in saying that?
Yeah. No, I cheated. I went home.
You went. Yes.
As I said, my daughter had joined us for the second last day, and my husband was coming as far as the tennis courts, the Causeway Tennis Club, to collect her. So the temptation to go back to my own bed was too strong, and I hightailed it home. But the rest of the group stayed in the Causeway Tennis Club, which was it was great actually, because that's normally where we regroup in the morning to head back to Bonmahon. Mm-hmm. So it was an ideal location, and they looked after us really well as well. So there was lovely showers and that's great there as well. So everybody started off in Dungarvan then in great spirits, and we were joined then as well by a group of people from Bunmahon, so our numbers swelled considerably.
Great.
We were joined by John Joe Cleary and Billy Dunn, who were the oldest people to do a full
journey,
a full day.
Yeah.
So the age group this year ran from 17 up to 70s, which is great.
Fantastic.
We had all age groups in between that as well, so it was great to be so diverse.
And how far was it then from Dungarvan to Bunmahon? How long of a journey was that?
That's quite an easy walk. We were back in Bonmahon by 3:00, so it was actually our shortest day by a good stint. We were just, I'm not 100% sure, I think we were just over 20 kilometres. Some of the other days we were hitting 36, 37 kilometres.
So you had a half day.
It was like a half day. Yeah, we rolled in now. But in fairness, I think we needed a short day at that stage because some of the feet of the 8 of us that did the full journey, well, we were starting to get a little bit tired, and the feet were a bit sore. But nobody had any big injuries. We were great with only blisters. Nobody hurt themselves, and nobody aggravated any pre-existing conditions.
Great.
So we're all in good health.
Good health. That's great. That's great. And I know that you had a night out then on the Saturday night, or was it the Sunday night?
We did on Saturday night when we came home.
Yeah.
Yeah. We went into Hayes' Bar in Bunmahon. They looked after us really well. There was a barbecue out the back, so that was lovely. Yeah. We went for a reception first at an engine house ruins in Bunmahon in Tankerstown. So that's normally our finishing point, a ceremonial finishing point, let's say.
Yes.
We finish it up at the engine, the mine ruins.
Yes.
And so we had a little reception there with Dungarvan Brewery gave us a few little tipples, and Aurelia Foods gave us some lovely cordials for the people driving. Right. So after that little reception, we headed down then to Hayes' Bar in Bunmahon, where we had a lovely barbecue and then a bit of a sing-song. So it was a great night, yeah.
Very nice. Colette is here in the studio. She's enjoying all that you're telling us about the walk.
Yeah, loving it, especially all the fun you're having at night time.
Yeah, believe it or not, it is great fun. It sounds like when you'd hear, you're going to walk, how far? And you're going to walk from where?
Like soldiers on a mission, you know.
If you thought about it for too much, you probably wouldn't go at all.
Yeah.
But it is great crack. You make great friends along the way. You meet and talk to people that you would never dream of talking to. Mm-hmm. You experience stuff that's way out of your comfort zone. I think I was chased by every dog in West Cork.
Oh my word.
I'm one of these people that seem to crack cross dogs, but I overcome that.
I think it's the Irish version of the Camino de Santiago. That's what you did.
I think so. It seems to be common to that. Yeah, it's it's something very personal to the Irish people. Reenacting something from the famine. I think it has a lot of poignancy and it resonates a lot with the Irish people. And we had a couple from England with us.
That's right. I actually met them. Yes.
Yeah, lovely couple, Neil and Julie. We were delighted to have them. They did the whole distance.
They actually travelled especially far, did they?
They did. They heard about it from a friend of ours, and it just sparked interest with them. And they made the trip over from Manchester and walked the full distance. And it was great to have them because we instinctively know the history of a lot of things through Ireland. From we come across wing forts and stuff, and it's in our psyche, and we know about them from children. And it was lovely to be able to tell stories and explain some of this, some of our heritage to them.
Yes.
Neil has an Irish background, but so he was aware of some of it. But it was lovely, and they were so interested and really enjoyed themselves.
Absolutely, and maybe next year we'll have people from all over, from different countries and all over Ireland.
Yeah, well, hopefully we've had some inquiries already from 2 people in Germany.
Fantastic.
Bonmahon is twinned with a mining town in Germany called Schron, and some people from the twinning group are very interested in the whole ethos behind it and are considering coming over for the 5th year. Which we'll be in our 5th year next year.
Okay, fantastic. 5th year. So, Orla, tell me, are you delighted that you did it? And as you say, it was out of your comfort zone, but you still achieved it?
Yeah, I am. It was something really worth doing. It really makes you think about where you are in your life and what you have, and how privileged we really are.
Yes.
This is like the people who did that walk originally. It's only a few generations ago. It's not that long ago, so you can feel a connection to the people and how little they had and how difficult it must have been for them.
Yeah.
You know, for instance, the night in Youghal, we all felt really cold, but we had high-tech tents, we had ski gear on us, thermal underwear, full bellies, and we felt cold in the end. You know, in one of the best Augusts we had.
Yes.
So it's just to imagine what these people felt like: cold, hungry, no shoes.
Yeah. And when you're tired, you're especially cold anyway. You know, if you're feeling tired.
Yeah, and especially when you're tired and hungry, and if you were doing it maybe and the weather conditions weren't as good or as favourable as the ones we had this August.
Yeah, and some people passed away back in historical times doing that particular walk to walk to Bunmahon to get work.
They did, yeah. Typically, what would have happened is the men would have went ahead, sent note to the women to come behind them with the children, and one particular woman lost half of her children on the route to Bonmahon, arrived to Bonmahon to find them burying her husband who had died in an accident, decided to leave Bunmahon. She knew nobody there, to return home to her family in Allihies, and the rest of her children died on the return trip. So when you're like, I'm a mother myself of 4 children, it really can hit home to you how lucky we really are with what we have and how fortunate we are.
And appreciate what we have.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And Colette is here in the studio with me, and she has a quick question for you,
Yes,
Orla.
hi Colette.
Yeah, hi there, Orla. I was just thinking to myself there, you sound fine and energetic, and I was just wondering, did you have to go on a special training course or anything like that before you went, just to test your strength and your ability and endurance?
That's a very good question, Colette. We were actually training for quite a few months. We actually started training in Easter, just after Easter when the weather brightened up.
Yeah.
And we slowly built up our endurance over the whole summer, really. And we did take longer and longer trips. Most of us would be fairly reasonably fit and have a good idea of what we were getting ourselves into.
Yeah.
So it's not something to take on foolhardily.
Yeah.
You could do a day if you just decided to come along and do one of the days or a morning, say. But if you were...
You definitely need a car behind you, making sure.
Yeah, well, we did have a support. We were very lucky that Parfit in Dublin sponsored us a minibus this year. So we did have a support driver with us the whole way. So if we did get into difficulty, you had the facility to be able to stop and take a break.
Yeah. And did you have specific kind of boots or shoes or anything? Did you have them well broken in before your walk?
Oh, yes, definitely have them well
It's important, isn't it, to break them in?
Very important. I actually had a pair of runners that are normally recommended for marathon runners.
Oh.
Because when you think about it, we did the equivalent of 8 marathons. So you're on your feet for that length of time. So it is important that your footwear is perfect.
Yeah,
even
and the support in your footwear has to be perfect as well.
Exactly.
They say that you have good understanding.
Yeah. Yeah, and make sure that your socks are right as well, that they don't rub, and there isn't, some socks would have a very high ridge across the toe that the slightest little thing would start rubbing over that period of time. Yeah.
Well,
Very
Orla,
good.
Congratulations and well done. And hopefully we'll be back next year talking to you, if not before then, and maybe you will come on at a later date regarding your business.
Yeah,
no
problem.
Know too that
can I just give you my website?
Of course, yes, please.
If you wanted to join us next year, you'd be more than welcome.
Okay, thank you.
Our website is www.walkfromAC.wordpress.com. And we're on Facebook and Google Plus and Twitter. And so if you Google Walk from Allihies to Bunmahon, you should find us.
Yeah, and will you call that out again now?
www.walkfromA2B, that's all one word, .wordpress.com.
WordPress.
Oh, I'll have to check that out. I
Yeah,
better break those boots in.
And the more the merrier next year. And when you start your training, you'll let us know when you're starting your training as well.
We'll start training again around Easter, and normally the walk will take part one of the last 2 weeks in August. So
Okay.
that's roughly, if you were thinking of taking time off work, that's roughly when it will be. We haven't confirmed them yet. But there's a festival in Allihies that kicks off on the 15th. So normally we try and coincide it with that festival. So it's normally the weekend after the 15th, but we'll confirm that closer to the time.
Brilliant.
Okay. And do you want to give us details of your business, just a short synopsis of your business and where people can get in touch with you regarding your business?
Well, I'm an artist and designer myself, and I design a range of luxury scarves and wraps, and they're available at the Coast Guard Cultural Centre in Tramore.
Okay.
And my next exhibition of paintings, it's called Working Hands, and that exhibition is in the Index Gallery in Waterfor City Library on Lady Lane, and that's going to run from the 1st of December to the 13th.
Okay, fantastic. Fantastic. I wish you well with that. And
Can I just ask one question? There's
Sure.
one. It
There's
just caught my
something to ask you.
attention before I let you
Okay,
go.
Claire.
I'm a divil here, but chakra blanket I'm seeing at the very end of your update.
Yes, yeah.
What is that?
Well, I didn't know what it was myself. I got a query from a client
Oh,
to make a
right.
chakra blanket.
Sounds like
and
something that would heal you, doesn't it?
Exactly, that's what it's for. It's for holistic medicine, and so I crocheted up this blanket for it. Full length of the body, runs from your heel to your throat, and it's the colours of the rainbow, and each
All the
colour
7.
has a different healing property. So it was a lovely project to do, and I really enjoyed it. And anybody who's seen it afterwards is amazed. So I went on and made another one because it was so beautiful when it was finished.
You're going to have to put a picture of that up on the website, or is that it
is,
here?
yeah.
Oh, here it is. Yeah,
yeah, it's
fabulous.
beautiful.
Yeah, it was absolutely stunning. Yeah, so it's a lovely therapist called Isabel Flynn from Kilmac actually commissioned it from me.
Fantastic.
Fantastic work. Well, Orla, as usual, you're doing great things, and I'm looking forward to speaking to you again, and we'll update ourselves on the walk and on your business as soon as we can.
Okay. Any more details about myself you can find on www.hamersleyart.com.
Fantastic.
And there's links actually on that page to the A to B as well.
To the A to B as well.
If it's easier than the A to B's big long one.
Okay.
Narrow down the
Fantastic.
search. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Orla.
Thank you, Linda.
Bye.
Thank you, Claire.
Talk
Bye,
to you
Orla.
soon. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye now. Thanks.